Hi guys, right, so episode 5. This was a weird episode because it had 3 fights which are kind of a very similar setup, with one robot that was a 360 degree attack kind of horizontal spinner versus a small, speedy, vertical spinner. But thankfully different outcomes for all 3, so that's okay. The first of said fights was Black Dragon versus Bloodsport. Given the very impressive performances from both of these in their first fights, I really didn't know who was going to win this one. Generally, you sort of think the vertical over the horizontal, just for like the spin up time and stuff. And that was the case with this one. Black Dragon were really impressive. The power of the weapon, the speed, the control, just all round just really good competitor. Once Bloodsport's spinner died, the match is kind of over. It's got very little to attack with after that. I like that they wanted to keep the fight going, but I can't help but feel they maybe regret asking for another hit from Black Dragon. Because yeah, that thing just punted it out of the arena. Next up was Captain Shredderator versus the very improved Witch Doctor. And I think Kenny Florian said it right. This was just air hockey. Captain Shredderator was just pinging around like a sort of little puck just going all over the place. Fair play for them for lasting as long as they did. And like I say, that new Witch Doctor is just so improved. Like, just the speed of it, the ferocity of the weapon. Just, again, really good competitor here. Third fight was Jasper against Huge. So obviously this is the first time we've seen Jasper. And I love the way it looks. I think it's very cool. I saw the behind the scenes build diary on YouTube, which was really cool to watch. I still have no idea what that weapon is meant to be. I don't know what it does. Like, it seemed like, like it could be quite effective against Huge, getting in the big spokes of the wheels or whatever. But I don't really understand what it is in general. But hey ho, like, I would like to see it again in action just to see what it's going to do with that weapon. It's good to see Huge though back in their sort of 2018 sort of peak, like really good performance. That blade just never giving up, never stop spinning, amazing. Next fight was another 360 horizontal versus small vertical, and that was Gigabyte against Minotaur. Seeing this fight, you wouldn't believe that Minotaur were runners-up last series. That drum is just giving them absolute hell this season. You could see it had trouble staying spun up before there was even an impact, so this wasn't like a damage thing, this was just, it wasn't working from the off. And yeah, the shape of Gigabyte's shell also seemed to negate it any time they did manage to get it spinning up a little bit. Gigabyte had put a really good performance in. Obviously they can be prone to sort of bouncing around, sort of like Captain Shredderator in the last fight. But fair play to them, they got close to the wall a few times, then pulled straight back. And it was really sweet how much this win clearly meant to the team. Like they were like just so excited by it at the end. So it's always nice to see like some real emotion there in some of these fights. Next up we had Uppercut against Mammoth. So obviously we haven't seen Uppercut yet. I love the design of that weird spinner that's like shaped like a fist. I think that's fantastic. And yeah, really solid debut for them, managing to flip over what looks like a massive, very stable looking robot, and an excellent celebration after they won. So obviously Mammoth got beaten in this one, but they showed the ability to self-right. Like, I didn't even sort of, I didn't think about the fact they get flipped over, and then B, once they were, I thought, oh no, and then instantly they were back upright, and I thought, wow, that was genuinely really impressive. I like the team's attitude that when they were on fire, he's going like, yes, fire, awesome! Like, they were getting, they were obviously people who were there for the fun. I mean, look at the robot, of course they are. But you know what I mean. Also, I'd like to put a note here for, I really enjoyed Farouk's accuracy by saying it was from the Pleistocene era. That was really nice. As a bit of a prehistoric animal geek, I was like, I like that accuracy there. Background segments in this episode was sort of like ongoing sort of separated bits about the pre-fight checks and stuff, the test arenas, the weigh-ins and all that stuff. So that was cool, like just a bit of additional behind the scenes of what goes into the preparation before the fight. We also got a sort of update on the Shatter's design and showing how it was effective in the last episode, and that was really good. This is the first episode I watched with friends. That sounds so tragic when I say it like that. But without being patronising to them, they don't know much about Battlebots or anything, but even they was like saying, oh, I can see exactly how that works. Oh, that's really interesting how the armour was protecting the main body of the robot. So yeah, that's almost like a sort of test audience to see that actually, yeah, people are engaging with this, so that's good. And then we had Shatter fighting against One Who. One Who, fair play, sort of like standing up to that amount of punishment for most of the fight. Shatter were giving these horrible hits on them, absolutely brutal, just unrelenting, like even hitting in the very last second of the fight. It's really good to see Shatter do what they're meant to do. Again, as I always say, it's good to see a robot with a bit more of an out there design, like doing exactly what it's designed to do. So yeah, they did that to the max in this fight. And then we had our main event fight, which was Son of Waiachi against Whiplash. I kind of thought Whiplash would probably win this just based on their just insane amount of driving, and they probably wouldn't let Son of War actually spin up. But I was actually really surprised at how well Son of War actually did, like getting away and spinning up. Admittedly, the floor came into effect again, and as other people have mentioned, they are now doing testing and getting a new floor for next season. I think they wanted one for this season, but there was not enough time or budget or something. So it's good that they recognise, yeah, that was definitely an issue with this series. Thankfully, though, it didn't actually alter the overall outcome of the fight, so that's okay. Felt very bad for Son of Archie's mini-bot, as it sort of got stuck underneath and you could see it being like, no, 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 yeah, and then just disappearing off camera, just absolutely obliterated. Very sad to watch. Who am I kidding? It was hilarious. It was interesting in the post-fight interview as well, because they were saying how Whiplash had lost one side of the armour, and so they had to change tactics mid-fight and always go facing with the other side of the armour, because otherwise Son of Archie would have gone straight through the front of their robot. And yeah, stuff like that where they're sort of, like I say, changing tactics mid-fight shows the real, again, driving skill involved in this sport. So yeah, another really solid episode. Like I say, it's weird they had sort of 3 very similar style fights in this episode, but it still worked, still some good fights, so yeah, very happy. I hope you enjoyed the review, guys. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheerio.